A hotel for the auto age was the slogan of the Golden Triangle Hotel upon its opening in downtown Norfolk on Monticello Avenue in 1961, the area's first major hotel built in over 50 years. Pat Hanger, a waitress and nightclub manager at the hotel in the 70s, called it an elite hotel, elegant and beautiful. If you were of any importance, she claimed, this is where you came. Some of Golden Triangle's glamorous guests included Elizabeth Taylor and Bob Dameron of the Dameron Guides. It was a $7 million project. $47,000 was spent on doorknobs alone, with 400 guest rooms, office space, stores, space for up to a 1,000-person conference, restaurants that were hailed as some of the best in the city, and, of course, enough parking for all its guests. Integrated from its opening, the Golden Triangle was a landmark in both Norfolk's Black and queer history. Local queer entertainers, drag queens, and female impersonators used the extravagant but seemingly ordinary hotel as a space for drag pageants and balls, like Miss Gay Virginia and the Cupid's Ball. The second competition legendary Norfolk drag queen Diana Ross ever entered was the Miss Virginia pageant at the Golden Triangle in '71. In an interview, she described it as about 100 contestants, 100 people walking down the runway back and forth, back and forth. It was a period of high drag, lots of chiffon, lots of feathers and sequins. Everyone looked like a Las Vegas showgirl. Now, decades later, local businesses all over Hampton Roads take part in the area's vibrant queer community. From hosting events to working directly with drag and ballroom icons, these groups, often smaller family-owned, become staples in the local community by following in the Golden Triangle Hotel's footsteps. One, The Wave, a bar along Colley Avenue, works with the local queer entertainers to host various pageants, performances, and brunches.
I mean, drag's up for interpretation there, and you don't have to be presenting as female to be in a drag show. You could be presenting as anything you want, really.
Businesses like The Wave and Golden Triangle help uplift local queer voices in their long-lasting battle against stubborn, closed-minded expectations of gender expression. Drag and ballroom culture have always been at the forefront of gender-based activism, so that begs the question, what even are they?
I would say it's just a particular avenue of performance art, self-expression, empowerment.
Drag performers even have their own houses, like the House of Camelot, Ova, or Marion, who visited the Golden Triangle in its prime, created to support and learn from each other.
If you love the community and you support the community, then you're going to care about the health and well-being of the community too, so that's really important.
However, despite an open attitude in conversations on gender and sexual identities, drag culture remains stagnant in other ways. Racial biases pervaded pageants and drag spaces, which ultimately led to the creation of ballroom culture by Black and Latinx queer people. House balls, where houses would battle in competitive categories such as face, body, and runway, became a way for individuals to come together to revel in their beauty and talent and find family of their own. For the queer community of Hampton Roads, the 60s to 90s were filled with trials and tribulations. Ballroom culture and its influence on the local drag community created a space of intersectionality, and those who were the heart and soul of it were the queer people of color whose passion ultimately paved the way for major steps taken to equality. Even generations of houses later in the 2020s, intersectional queer culture creates pockets, just like can be found at The Wave and could once be found at the Golden Triangle Hotel, of centers for mutual aid.
The businesses really work well together and support each other. The staffs are friends with each other 99% of the time. Like, everybody's rooting for each other because, we all have to do well. If one of us isn't doing well, then that's bad for everybody.
But despite its glitz and glam, the Golden Triangle has struggled to stay afloat. Too far from the center of downtown Norfolk, the hotel has changed names and management frequently. The Triangle, the Radisson, the Hotel Norfolk, and today, the Wyndham Gardens. But it has always persisted. Now, the hotel is not as show-stopping as it used to be, nor does it host lavish drag pageants or balls. However, it's still a hub for some of Norfolk's queer community, like the LGBT Life Center, which hosts an annual pool party at the hotel that serves as a safe space for both Norfolk's Black and queer community and is complete with DJs, giveaways, food, and free HIV testing and PrEP services. Whether its halls host glitter-filled pageants or community pool parties, the Golden Triangle has earned its spot in Tidewater queer history.
true.